In 5 minutes.
Okay, 18.1. I'm gonna apologize in advance because I finished the workout 10 minutes ago and I'm a little smoked. So these are our preliminary thoughts. They might change a little bit as we see more people do them, as we start to see some scores come out, but we really wanted to get a video out to you guys as quickly as we can. Some of our guys are doing it Friday, some will be doing it Saturday. For those who are going to do it Friday, we wanted to give you guys something to go with. Again, just like all the workouts, a lot changes over time. We'll watch people try different techniques. We are obviously open to our athletes' opinions on stuff, especially our guys and girls that have been training for a long time. They're very intuitive, and it'll evolve.
Yeah, it'll change. As we get more data, things will change. But for now, this is our initial thoughts on this.
So so I can breathe for a second. I'd like to hear what Lewis had.
So let's start with what we talked about.
Yeah.
So first of all, it's a long workout. It's 20 minutes, and for most of you guys, it's going to be straight aerobic work. So fueling before the workout is important. Especially for those of you guys that do these workouts earlier in the morning because you have jobs to go to, things like that. So getting some carbs in an hour before your workout is going to be big.
For me, in like around the 14th minute, I started to feel a little queasy and probably a little hungry. I ate about 2 hours before the announcement. It's different for us because we don't know how long the workout's going to be. I definitely didn't want to be overfed, but in hindsight, I wish I would have eaten and fueled a little bit closer to the workout. Lewis made a very good point. It's going to be very aerobic for a lot of people. It is, but that is also pretty skill dependent.
Yeah, that depends on who you are and what your level of fitness is at this point.
Yeah, if your skill set's pretty high and you're going to be aggressive on the toes to bar, you're going to have a well-paced row, it will be very aerobic. If you are less skilled on the toes to bar and you need to take a few breaks, if you're resting longer in transition, it will still be aerobic, but not as aerobic, if that makes sense.
So big thing was pacing. Yeah. Obviously, this is a 20-minute workout. We know pacing is going to be huge on this, but settling into a pace in those first few rounds that you can maintain not just for 4 or 5 rounds, but past the 10-minute mark is going to be huge. We saw a lot of guys settle to a pace that they kept for 5 rounds, and that 10-minute mark, they fell off. If you watch the announcement, someone like Sam settled into her pace. She talked about coming out a little hard, finding her rhythm, and keeping that the whole way. She can keep a 1.5 minute pace for 20 minutes. Not a lot of other people can do that, so you got to settle into what you think is a maintainable pace for the full workout, not just the next couple rounds.
Yeah, so to put that in perspective, I started with 1:49 and I kept pretty damn close to that, like Lewis said, for 5 rounds, right?
You stayed just under 2 minutes for 5 rounds.
Yeah, my goal was 10 rounds or really damn close to it, and I got 9 rounds plus all the toast bar, the dumbbell, and 1 calorie on the rower. I wish I would have come out a little bit more paced out, but I'm pretty happy with my 1:49 to 2 minute pace throughout. I will say that I think I really feel like the workout is more about the second half than the first half, but it's similar to 16.1, but there is a difference. In 16.1, a lot of people started out really slow and gave more towards the end of the workout. I think this workout is going to be way more about overall pacing than that workout was.
I agree. It doesn't seem like you're going to be able to turn it on the last 3 minutes or so. Like if you're counting on, I'm going to go really slow in the last 5 minutes, I'll sprint and get 3 rounds, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. I will say that there is room for improvement towards the end. So let's just jump into this piece and I'll touch on that at the end. Transitions are huge. There's 3 exercises in this piece, and the more time you spend pacing around, depending on how far your rower is from the dumbbell, how far the dumbbell is from the pull-up bar, that's a lot of time in transition and a lot of time on your feet. If you're the kind of person that is going to need to break something up, I don't imagine many people breaking up the dumbbell, but if you're a smaller athlete, if you're going to be aggressive on the toast bar, and if you think you have to break up the dumbbell for whatever reason, all your breaks in a piece like this should be planned out. Just like most open workouts, my philosophy is you need to give up your breaks before the workout forces you to take breaks. Once the workout forces you to take breaks, you're fucked. You're done. Especially on a workout that for many people will be pretty grippy. If you get to the point where you have to stop and give yourself up to the workout, you're gonna be toast. So transitions are really big. Planning is really big. Plan the breaks in the toast bar if they're gonna be needed. Plan the breaks on dumbbell if they're gonna be needed. Plan your steps, know where your chalk is, know where your grips are,
In and out of the rower is gonna be huge. You gotta get in and out with purpose. You can't sit on the rower, throw one foot over, put the other foot in, strap up. It's gotta be fast. Don't, like Danny's saying, plan your rest. Don't take 4 seconds walking to the rower, then take another 4 seconds getting in. If you're gonna walk there slowly, you need to get in right away.
Yeah, that's something that I'm pretty proud of myself, how I did. All my transitions were with purpose. I rested where I had to, my transitions were with purpose. Let's start with toes to bar. I was very surprised for me, my toes to bar, the whole workout was not as grippy as I thought. The second Dave started talking, I was like, fuck, this workout's gonna be gnarly for the forearms and the grip. People who have an issue with forearm fatigue and holding onto the bar are gonna suffer tremendously. As a result, I broke my toes to bar from the beginning. My first 5 or 6 rounds, I did between 4 and 4 or 5 and 3, and I did my last 2 or 3 rounds of toes to bar unbroken. So as where Lewis was saying previously, he doesn't see it possible that you're gonna be able to sprint or push towards the end. I do agree with that in a breathing or energy system sense. However, I do think for our athletes that are more skilled, they will be able to give us more, especially on those toes to bar. I think the toes to bar at the end are gonna be make or break for many, not for everybody, but for many people. So for an athlete, for someone like myself, the fact that I was able to give them towards the end can maybe give some people some insight to how grippy the workout should feel. I don't have the best forearm endurance in the world, and you know, I really didn't feel blood on my forearms until the end of the workout. After, really.
After, okay.
Okay, so moving on to the dumbbell, it's really easy. For me, what was challenging was finding a rhythm. Now, we do a lot of unilateral, single arm, dumbbell, awkward object stuff, so it didn't feel terribly awkward for me. What was weird was the rhythm of it. We have on our programming done single arm dumbbell clean and jerks before. This one, now we went from the middle. Most people, that's what I did. And it kind of felt like a dumbbell snatch.
Right. Most people treated it like a kettlebell swing through the middle of the legs. And it's very similar to a dumbbell snatch path.
Yeah, so what I mean about rhythm, this is gonna be something that everyone is gonna need to play with. What we're gonna put on our design for Friday, on Friday, everyone is going to do the same warm-up they're going to repeat again on Saturday. And that will be your opportunity to find your positions of preference, to find your rhythm, to find what you kind of want to do.
Yeah.
I think your options are going to be the following. I think you're going to consider doing kind of like a muscle clean into possibly a push press. I think some people might do, which is what I was doing, a small dip. So the dumbbell would be in between my legs, similar to a kettlebell swing. I would pull, slightly dip under it, and do a small push press. In hindsight, I wish I would have warmed up with the dumbbell a little bit more and found my technique of preference, especially going overhead. I changed it a lot. I would go from push press to push jerk, etc., etc.
I think the big thing is going to be finding your rhythm. Don't force it. A lot of people look like they were trying to go faster and it pulled them out of rhythm.
Yes.
Find your rhythm, stick to it on the dumbbell.
Absolutely. Moving on to the row. So for me, you know, Danielle pointed something out about Kristen Holte. She was not strapping her feet into the rower. That's what I went. I went with a setting larger where I normally put my feet. I didn't strap my feet, and honestly, I felt fine. Danielle did notice that I wasn't using my heels enough on the rower, which could lead to more forearm fatigue, but I honestly felt okay. I paced it out. The one thing that I would change about the rower is I paced too much.
Yeah.
Probably in the 6th, 7th round, I fell off my pace and I got a tiny bit distracted.
We've been doing a lot of perceived effort work. You guys should know what 80% feels like. That's about where you're gonna wanna pace this.
Yeah, I agree. So those are gonna be our initial thoughts. Again, we'll post more on the blog, we'll post more on the private group.
find your rhythm, transition with purpose. Don't chase other people. Settle into what you can do on this. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck,
Peace.
guys.